Hello guys, me Elf with ElfNet Designs and Communications, and I figured I would give you a brief tour of some communications equipment that I have that is my personal stash. It doesn't belong to any customers. It is stuff that is set aside for in case of emergency and things like that, along with my GMRS repeater I have set up right here next to me. Of course, what you're looking at is my old trusty Motorola HT1250. It's an analog radio. Keep in mind, in this video I will not be showing any of my digital equipment. For personal security reasons, I do not show that on video because, one, it's not really nobody's business what I have, and two, yeah, in case something happens, I don't want people, to even get an inkling of what I have. So I'm only going to show the analog stuff that would be used in an immediate problem, not something that requires higher end security, things like that. So that's what this is for. As far as equipment working, I do have the standard AM/FM shortwave radio there, and that's being patched into that and goes into an Electro Voice PA amplifier. This computer is where I do all the radio programming for commercial only radios. I don't do any amateur radio anything. This is all commercial, or GMRS rather. That's what the computer's for, and there are two of these. There is that one that's on and running, and a redundant in case that one fails. There's my battery packs for such emergencies. My cheap Chinese soldering helping hand station that will not stay stood up to save its life. Yeah. And here is a PM400 GMRS repeater. It's going through a CES RM10 repeater maker that I have overhauled, put new capacitors in, redid some LEDs, repaired some tracks on the board, retuned it, and got her working again. Of course, every radio person needs a watt meter and the accompanying dummy load. If you do not have these two things, then you shouldn't be calling yourself a radio technician by any stretch of the imagination. Now, the repeater is only 25 watts. It is narrowband compliant, and yes, I do have my commercial license, one of my licenses for this area, my commercial license in the receiver, and also in, is it in the transmitter? Oh, get in there. I'll never use those. It will be right there. BB1 and BB2 are just different PL tones or coordinates with that commercial receiver frequency. I'm not going to give that frequency out because no one needs to be on it but paying customers, and so on and so on. Duplexer tuned to 462.550, 467.550, all the usual jazz. We have a completely restored, recapped General Electric Master 2 power supply with the front AC on it. Changed that fuse at 10 amp to a push breaker. Above it is an AC Variac power supply. Right now this thing is plugged in to that light, and if I turn this down, light goes out. The other thing that is plugged into this lamp is my soldering iron. This is plugged into a jack on the back of this. Turn it on. Solder temp. Soldering iron is now temperature controlled, even though this old Weller originally isn't. That's that equipment. We move over here. You have your general run-of-the-mill El Cheapo trunk tracking Rat Shack police scanner. Never mind the mess in the background. That is crap. A DSR 100. I think this is the PL code. No, yeah, this is the PL decoder. It's not really hooked up correct right now, but it hooks into the scanner discriminator, comes in, and yada yada. And then we have the Syncor model SC3080, 80 megahertz analyzer, 2 channels. I did clean all this up. And moving down the list, we have an SCR track test accessory, Syncor model LC75 capacitor tester. We have an HP function generator. I also have a BK Precision. Here it is on the floor for some reason. I also have that one. I have a variable DC bench power supply. And another oscilloscope. And somewhere I've got a portable oscilloscope. I also have a milliwatt laser meter there for some reason or another. That's everything you need basically to repair anything electronic. I'll move to the radio bits, the good parts. But that's the part that is actually being used, and to prove that fact, we will go to shit. We'll go there. Its own main is what I call it in the Jim Morrison. And that's the repeater kicking up right there. 1, 2. Now this 25 watts repeater, I'm not going to show the antenna. It's not on a very high one. It's only about 50 foot or so up. I get a few miles off of it. And moving along, none of this is really connected. These are all spares. These are all radios to be distributed in the event of some kind of emergency that warrants the use for these radios, like shit hitting the fan. These radios will be put into play, especially all of these Maxons. These Maxons, most of these are programmed in pairs with receive and transmit frequencies for repeater use. And we have receivers on this side, transmitters on this side. And there's a base mic, here's some wire sort, and over here we have the Motorola stuff. It's the Sabre that I recently ordered a battery and antenna for. Sabre 2 UHF, good radio, works fine. This Midland mic out of the way. We got our Maxtrax of various type. We've got 2 channels and 32 channels here, another 2 channel radius. We have a Spectra UHF, another PM400, CM300s are VHF, as well as this M2025 is a VHF, a Vertex 2000, which is UHF, and to be quite fair, is a piece of shit. I don't like it. And we have a Kenwood, I forget the model number of this Kenwood. Just put a new final in it though. TK860HG-1. Nice radio. I got a mic ordered for that. And right here is a Motorola field repeater with a RIC. All 12 volts. 2 antennas, receive and transmit. Got this plug-in receiver. Plug this to 12 volts. It is a GMRS repeater. And here are some handhelds that are meant to be used here. Everyone in my group has their own radio. These are my radios that I kept and didn't recycle. Of course, I have my yellow one. I have this yellow one. I have these MT1200s, MT2000s. Of course, they work. And again, that beep is an MDC 1200 identifier, and you can see that on the repeater display right there. This radio is number 703, so that's how I know who's calling in, by the way. Well, of course, got the run-of-the-mill, the old cheap Wouxun, the even cheaper Baofeng, the SP50, is this a chart? Oh, yeah. Battery's running dead. I need to program this. I just acquired this not long ago. It's got a battery in it. And a Vertex standard VX180U. Of course, it's got a dead battery as well. All these radios have dead batteries, older ones anyway. old analog TV, some speakers, Cobra CB radio. Can never go wrong with one of those. Being caught in the middle of rearranging this area is why a lot of this is not connected, and also it's kind of pointless to have it all connected because I've got a police scanner if I need to listen to hams or anything like that, and people calling me, they're going to call me on this machine here anyway, or my cell phone. Yeah, that's the pile of equipment, and everything here works. All this is on standby for a case of emergency. Got to leave. Things are that bad. These radios will be issued out as people show up and head off to their pre-assigned places to secure the area that we're going to. They already have the brackets and antennas on the car. They just plug and play, put mics in, and go. This is not the only repeater like this around here. These things are everywhere. And aside from the duplexer, this thing is actually very portable in itself, though I do have that thing down there that is more portable than that. I do have some more GR1225s coming in that will be put in the field. Sorry I can't show anything in the field working. Just the right here is proof that it's working, and you can hear it. I mean, hell, you can see the transmit light. This bench here, I've made videos on this bench. It's where I repair a lot of things outside of the main shop. This is actually a shop at my home. This bench used to be in my main shop. I moved it here, got a better one there. So any future videos will be made here on this bench so things look the same. Anyway, this is kind of a wrap on this. Let me key that in for you. See all the little connections I had to make back here. All the stuff in that controller. You know, and this controller's basically just from nostalgia. I could put a suicide cable on these two radios and it'd be just fine. I could use the 9800 that I have. CSI 9800. I could use this. Give me a foam patch and a Morse code identifier. Oh, there's another piece of equipment. It's a frequency counter. Oh, frequency counter. Belongs on my test bench over here. This stuff. Yeah, that's about it. Yeah. So yeah, any new radios that are won or collected will go under the pile to be issued in case of an emergency. Everything here is programmed to GMRS. Everything here is UHF for the most part, except these three right here. These monitor, I think this one's monitoring MERS and scans, and these are monitoring amateur frequencies, NOAA weather, things like that. I don't transmit on ham because I don't have a license to do so, and even if I did, I would not be interested in transmitting on the amateur bands in this area anyway, because I don't have anything to say to these people. But that's a story for another time. Not saying all ham radio operators are bad, it's just the ones in my area are. Spectra, good radio. Used to be in my truck. I also have another one, it's a 100-watt version. But yeah, this is the pile. I've made videos on some of this stuff here and there, and it shows that it works. If you look back through my channel, you'll see that stuff. So yeah, I'm Elf with Elfnet Designs and Communications, and this is my VR response thing to the Comms Prepper giveaway. If anyone has any questions about any of these radios or these relics or any of this stuff, please feel free to do so. Be sure to like and subscribe. And as always, guys, I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.